Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and Windows Update is finally getting some improvements. We will have a new update here, a feature update, and that's going to be the May 2019 update. And this is the next feature update in Windows 10, part of Microsoft's 2 updates a year. But with this announcement of that, Microsoft is going to be making some changes. And one of the important changes is now that the release preview, so they have a ring of release preview, a slow ring and a fast ring out there that allow users to go test out their software before it gets releases to everybody else. And I'm on the fast ring on one device here, and as well as got one at work. But then this release preview is one right before it goes releases to public. So they're going to put this now OS out on that ring for a month. So hopefully it picks up a lot more users and they can test it better so that when they actually release this out to the public and everyone else, it actually works and we don't have the problems in 1809 that were plagued them for months and months. So I'm hoping that this actually irons it or helps iron it out. But that release preview ring, as well as ecosystem partners, right? They're OEMs, they're independent software vendors, ISVs, which will help them hopefully improve the quality of Windows 10 and that version. Microsoft says that those OEMs and ISVs will be pushing this in May, and if that's the case, that's going to be before it's released out to everybody, which is going to be late May. So next week, release preview ring gets the new update, and then that will be for a month. They get to test it, hope it provide feedback. I've been on it with Fast Ring for a while, trying to provide as much feedback as possible. And don't forget, if you're on those rings, provide a lot of feedback, and hopefully that it will help Microsoft get a more stable OS when it releases out to everybody. Now, in doing that, Microsoft's going to be using machine learning to help identify high severity issues so that they can make sure that they're taking care of those right away and not waiting on them to create bigger, basically news cycles of problems that Microsoft is having with Windows 10. Only time will tell if this quality thing is going to help out, but in some of the other things that they announced with this, they also said they're going to have a public dashboard to show users basically how the update's going and stuff like that. I haven't really seen the public dashboard too much. I think that they're going to be showing it off in a little bit. So really, this is the first release of it. And I hope that the Microsoft does a good job on basically relaying information to users so that they know where they are. Now, with this feature update, you will not be receiving the feature update where it's just pushed to you and then Microsoft sees if it's working. Basically, what's going to happen is Microsoft's testing stuff, and then once it becomes viable for your computer, meaning software, hardware, everything works, Microsoft will then push it to you. You will get a notification that you can then click, download, and install. So I think there's a little bit more step. You will be forced onto this at the end of your life cycle of the OS, but I'll get into that in a little second. So what I like is that you have the opportunity to download and install. If it doesn't make sense for you, you don't have to do it right away. Or if you don't care, you can delay it. So it's not a mandatory requirement right away. Now, each Windows 10 version, I'm just talking about consumer side here, not going to go to the enterprise side at all, but that is supported for 18 months. And so at the end of 18 months, when your Windows OS that you're currently on is no longer supported, Microsoft will then force that update onto you, and you'll be getting notifications a little bit ahead of time. And I believe, let me check my notes here, but I think you'll still get that update and notification to go, but as soon as it hits the end of life, you're forced on to upgrade. So you have to get onto a supported OS. But in addition to this, and in this quality updates, these feature updates, but then you have the monthly quality and security updates. And these quality and security updates now for all users can be delayed 35 days if you so choose. So if you know that one is having a bunch of problems out there and Microsoft says, hey, we're going to update you, you can say, no, I want to wait. And you can do that for 7 days. And you can do that 7 days 5 times for 35 days. So Microsoft has improved that a little bit to make it less of a pain point. but once you get to the end of 35 days, you have to update before you can start pausing again. So it basically keeps you pretty close to up to date on the security and quality side. Hopefully Microsoft doesn't have a bug with when you have to update, but the feature updates, the big ones, you can delay basically for right up until your version is no longer supported. So going through that, one other thing that they did announce is intelligent active hours. And intelligent active hours, I don't know how many people out there even change their active hours on Windows Update or even know it exists. I know probably not many because, yeah, if I mention it to people, people go, oh, what is that? And this is going to allow you to, or not allow you to do nothing. So basically, when you use a computer, it'll keep track of it. And then over time, guess what? It'll adjust your active hours so it doesn't try to update your computer when you're using it. This, I hope, is going to be a good improvement, but only time will tell if Microsoft can actually implement it right. My faith in Windows 10 and it being stable and reliable and working all the time is dwindling, Microsoft. And I'm hoping these changes can change that. But yeah, there needs to be work there because 1809 was a rough OS. I know a lot of people that don't have any problems and a lot of people that have a lot of problems. So on both sides of the spectrum, it just was a pain point for me in support. So and development, by the way. So with that, there's also intelligent updates. So Microsoft Store and Windows updates are going to try to coordinate and not try to update while you're using your machine. I think some of that is kind of even the intelligent active hours. So I like this stuff. I like them putting in some sort of intelligence. I'm hoping the intelligence works because otherwise, yeah, it's not going to be fun for anybody. And Microsoft, I mean, we as users need to be filing feedback to tell Microsoft if it is working or not. So, yeah, just to sum it all up here, the May 2019 update for Windows 10 is going to be out in late May. Release preview ring, we'll be getting that right now, or next week, I should say. And then OEMs and ISVs will be be deploying it in May, along with Microsoft. Microsoft's going to be pushing it to their entire organization in May as well. And Microsoft, you should be pushing it, like if you're in release preview ring, you should be pushing it to a lot of your organization already to help them test. You got a huge organization, so hopefully that also helps with a lot of users hitting it per day. Not as much as Microsoft's whole install base, but hopefully that is an improvement. I like to see the public dashboard and see how that's going to go. Hopefully that's something that us as users can see if it's a good update or bad update or on hold because of a problem, and that will help us alleviate some of the issues that people have. And yeah, we will see this release how it all goes. And I'm really hoping that Microsoft ironed out their issues. If you want, by the way, one thing I forgot to mention was for this update, I believe the download and install only is available for 1809 and 1803, which is the spring and fall updates of 2018. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any other questions, post them in the comments below. But my thoughts on this are, it's a direction that I hope is a good direction. I think it's going to alleviate some pain points for a lot of users out there that don't necessarily need the updates every single time they come out for feature updates. And hopefully it alleviates people that are trying to use their computers and are always updating and with these changes, and it allows you to be in a little bit more control. So if you're seeing it, there's a lot of issues with 1809, Microsoft's not forcing it down your computer and then something happens to it. So with that, and being able that Microsoft seeing the data, seeing which computers are working and not working, they can better assess that hardware to make sure that you don't have that anymore, because you're supposed to only now get notifications of the download and install new feature updates when your computer is fully software, hardware, everything works. So time will tell to see if that is. I think it's a good direction to go down. I am not committed fully to jump in and say, yes, Microsoft's doing a good thing here, because last Windows 10 update of 1809 showed that it was not that good, and prior ones haven't been that great either. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'll be sure to try to answer any questions. If there's discussion, all the more the better. So with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Graya Overload and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.